What is going on, guys? Postgrad Don here today with another video. Today we're going to be talking about what to know before you move away. So starting off with number one, we're going to be going over what city should you move to? How should you make that decision? So some factors to think about before you pick your city are: one, the environment. What kind of climate are you looking to live in? Do you want to live by a beach? Do you want to live in a major metropolitan city? Do you want to have harsh winters like in Chicago? Do you want it to be a little bit more cloudy? Understanding where you want to live and what kind of climate you want to be in is going to be huge. If you don't like the weather outside, it's going to get to you and it's going to affect you mentally. So understanding where you're moving to is huge. Now, number two is looking at the social scene. Obviously, you're moving away for whatever reason, and you're going to still want to have a social life. So looking into what your hobbies are and how you can incorporate those hobbies into your new city. Or maybe you're looking at what kind of bar scene there is, what kind of party scene there is. Certain cities have more bar cultures, where it's more bar hopping, rather than going to the clubs like you would see in bigger cities. But for the most part, most cities will have their club, and more likely than not, they're going to have a bar hopping scene. So kind of figuring out what you kind of want from that social setting is going to be huge. Now, third, cost of living. Can you afford to live in the city of your choice? Now, understanding where you want to live is big, but living somewhere that you can afford is even bigger. So if you're looking at cities like San Francisco, you're looking at cities like New York, Chicago, Seattle, you're going to be paying more just to live in that city. And depending on who you are, if you want to commute into the city, might be a factor in determining, do you want to live there? I mean, people in New York commute from the island, they commute from Connecticut. They don't all live in Manhattan, but if that's the environment you're kind of looking for, maybe you're willing to pay a little extra to live in the city, live in a nice area. So understanding the cost of living in the city is probably the biggest thing I would look for in picking what city you want to live into, obviously. Number two, having a plan to when you're going to move and just having a plan in general. So first factor we should talk about is getting a job. Now, I'm not saying that you can't move without having a job. I'm just really recommending you get a job. I mean, there's a lot of things that a job provides, and that one of them is money, but I'm just going to keep putting some emphasis is when you move, try to either have a job lined up or know you can get a job within a few months and that you can afford to live without a job. But kind of drill in your head is get a job.
Job? Why wouldn't I? I'm not some lazy, inconsiderate jerk who lays in bed all day.
Say, where can I get one of these jobs?
Oh, they're everywhere.
Number two, understanding where you're going to live. Are you going to want to live in an apartment? Are you going to want to live in a house? Now, those factors kind of are up to you. If you're going to move into a house, you're probably going to be more in the suburbs, farther away from like the downtown and that environment where a lot of the social scene is. But it also could be a lot cheaper depending on roommates. So looking into that. Now, apartments offer amenities such as like my apartment here, they have a trash valet where they come around and pick up your trash. It's awesome. You don't really have to worry about anything. Yeah, you're paying rent, but you know what you're getting, and for the most part, when anything goes wrong, they're going to take care of it. The house, you're going to have a little bit more upkeep, but you get a lot more space. So it's just kind of weighing the pros and cons of what you're looking for. I prefer apartments, but you might not prefer apartments. Kind of going into that is determining if you're moving to a new city, are you going to be buying a property or are you going to be renting a property? Now, getting into the debate between renting or buying could be a whole nother video in itself, so we're not really going to go into that kind of detail. It's just going back to having a plan, know what you're going to be doing when you move there. So if you're going to be buying a house, you might be wanting to be looking at houses before you move. Like have a plan of know when you're going to move so you can strategically start setting that up. Number 3, having a budget. Now, money is the thing that kind of gets us to work, and lets us buy nice things. But having a budget on how to spend your money is very important. So, kind of starting off with number 1 is know how much it is going to cost you to live. You don't want to be overspending on an apartment and it be 50% of your gross monthly income and you not be able to afford other things. So when you're looking at moving, understand that you need to start budgeting on how much your apartment's going to cost, plus utilities and all the necessities to live. So necessities being housing, insurance, car if you have a car payment, food. Factoring those into your budget as these are the bare necessities you need to live. So make sure you have those covered. Second thing is you want to be putting money away for a rainy day. You want to start saving some money for the future. So making sure you're still able to put away money each month is a huge thing. I know it sounds fun to like blow the rest of your paycheck, but promise you savings will make your money grow exponentially rather than if you just spend it at the bar. But that doesn't mean we're not going to put away money for fun. You need to have some discretionary money away to spend for having fun. I mean, you move to a new city, you're more than likely did it to have a new experience and have fun. So if you're not budgeting into your life a certain amount of money to have fun, then I think before you move, you need to reevaluate. Maybe you don't spend as much on an apartment, or you cut costs there. Maybe you change your eating habits so it's more affordable. Whatever you need to do to reallocate your budget so you can have a balanced lifestyle. So I'm not telling you to go live in like a little shed and like only eat chicken and rice, but knowing what's going on with your finances is going to help you out in the long run immensely. Once again, a full budget can be another video in itself, so look out for that. Number 4, how to make friends. You move to a new city. From my personal experience, I moved to a whole new city, didn't know anyone, no family, no friends, worked for a small company. You might be in the same situation. So learning how to make friends is gonna make your experience a lot more enjoyable. So kind of the first tip I have for you is leave your comfort zone. If you feel comfortable when you just move to a brand new city not knowing anyone, you're going to get complacent and you're not going to want to try and make the effort to meet new people. You're not going to want to leave your apartment or house. So make sure you put yourself out of your comfort zone to get the new experience that you moved to a new city for. So how do you do that? How do you leave your comfort zone? So number 1 thing that I could recommend is join a gym, join a CrossFit gym, join a regular gym. And as you start going to these places regularly, you're going to start meeting people. You're going to start seeing the same people in these environments. And you can start having little conversations with them. They're not going to be your best friend off the bat, but that's not how best friends are made or even friends are made. You've got to be interested in their life and should have some commonalities. And not everyone you meet is going to want to be your friend. It's just the reality of it. But leaving your comfort zone in those environments is huge. Now, how do you make friends if you go to the gym? You see something like you start seeing the same people, you might work in on a set with them here and there, have a conversation, and then down the line you might want to ask them if they want to get a workout in later or later in the week, maybe next week. And little things like that are going to help develop your friendships. Number 2 is joining rec sports. Rec sports are huge in the post-grad community. There's people from probably right out of college to I think most of them cut off around like 40 for like young professionals, but it just depends on what the rec center kind of has their expectations for. But different rec sports like volleyball, kickball, flag football, they're going to be co-ed. Most of the people aren't going to take it too serious. You don't need to know anyone to join a team. A lot of these teams are formed of 4 people, and they're just looking for fillers. Most people are just trying to have fun, and then they might go out drinking later. So it's just kind of, another way to develop commonalities and be in another social environment. And the last one I would recommend is a website called meetup.com. I'll put the link in the description below. But what meetup.com is you put in your postal code, and then it shows you all these like meetups around you. So different people in the city around you are hosting different events. So one of the meetups I'm a part of is I joined a flag football team. And so every Sunday I go down, I play flag football with new people, and have some nice conversations, have a little bit of fun. 3 hours of flag football on a Sunday, really relaxing. And some of these people that you start developing friendships with. So doing little things like that, it's not going to be easy, but it's going to make your experience a lot better, and you're probably going to feel a little bit more fulfilled knowing that you went out of your way and you're doing the best you can to try and meet people. And those are like the top 3 things I would recommend. Of course, you can meet people in the apartment you live in or around you, maybe at work, but for the most part, I would recommend those top 3 things to try and meet new people. Finally, number 5, acclimating. Acclimating to your new environment. So you picked your apartment, you picked the city you want to live in, you have your budget set, you're starting to make new friends, but you still are having a little bit of a rough time. Well, that's going to be natural. You're acclimating to a whole new environment. This might be the first time you left home. For me, this was the first time I left home. So acclimating to a whole new environment is huge. So first thing I would tell you is keep some things consistent from your lifestyle back home. Now, it doesn't have to be anything huge, but let's say you're used to going to the gym, and going to the gym is where you feel relaxed and you feel normal. Then do that. Make sure you keep some sort of routine. Maybe you have like a tradition back home where certain nights of the week you would eat a certain food. Keep that going, and it'll just make you feel more at home and help develop your new environment into more of a home feel. Number 2 is you gotta stay in touch with people back home. For the most part, if you're leaving, you're still gonna have family back home, you're gonna have your good friends, and you wanna keep those relationships. You're gonna wanna call your mom, you're gonna wanna call your dad, stay in touch with your siblings, stay in touch with your best friend. Even though you're not home and you're not around them all the time, with technology today, there's really no excuse to not try and still be friends with people and keep up with them. Understand you moved for a reason. You didn't move to a new city to be miserable at your job. You didn't move to a new city to not make any friends or not have a change in lifestyle. You're stuck here, you might as well make the best of it. And if you don't like it, you can always go home. And those are my 5 tips for you guys on what to know before you move away, while you move away. Really appreciate you watching this video. If you liked it, please like it, leave a comment, and please subscribe to my channel, guys. Alright, have a good day.